For 40 years, guys, if you got into a fender bender or your headlight stopped working, the fix was universal, and best of all, it was super cheap. You could walk into any gas station or parts store and pick up a steel beam headlight for about $15, right? And you was honestly just good to go. It didn't matter if you drove a Toyota, a Benz. It didn't matter what you drove. They all used the same part, and for the most part, it was a one size fit all. But today, a minor fender bender, guys, or malfunction could cost you anywhere over $1,000. Some cases you got $3,000, and these are like pretty regular cars too, just for a headlight. And honestly, guys, it's because you're no longer replacing a bulb; you're instead replacing a whole computer. So, how did we get here? How do we go from affordable uniformity to specific model specific headlights cost more than the price of a good used car, guys? It's a story of good intentions, honestly, but you already know the push for technology and how that works in everything. And honestly, a decision that changed the way headlights cost our vehicles forever. In order to appreciate just how expensive headlights got, guys, honestly gotta take you back a couple decades back to let you know how cheap they used to be and what life was like back then. A simple, incredibly restrictive technology ruled American roads, and it was called a steel beam headlight, and it was mandated back in 1940 or 1939 that this this all-in-one headlight be fitted to every new vehicle. And so the filament, the lens, and the reflector was all built into one beam, one sealed unit, right? If a filament went out, you didn't just you just changed the whole bulb, right? And that's it. You was good to go. And you might think, okay, so that sounds extremely wasteful, like if you had to change the whole assembly. But it had one massive benefit, guys: standardization. Federal law said that these units had to be fit most cars. They had like a couple different shapes, like circle or rectangle, and every single car used those exact same parts. And so the level of interchangeability was incredible. A headlight for a Cadillac could be the same exact part number as a headlight for something like a Volkswagen. So this mass-produced uniformity made everything dirt cheap when it comes to headlight. I mean, and any gas station had a stack of them just ready to sell you at any given time. Car designers, on the other hand, though, they hated it. They complained about aerodynamics, design. It just prevented them from being creative because they had to create the whole front of the car based around circles and squares and rectangles. And honestly, I agree with them as far as it was holding cars back. But while while the steel beam was very durable, the tech was very ancient. Even in Europe, guys, they moved to brighter halogen headlights, and the US stuck with the old school tungsten filament. And to be fair, the steel beam was a relic, but it was dependable and, best of all, affordable. And it was holding the design and safety back, which honestly, we know how things go. It can't last forever. Something had to give. Something had to give, guys, and indeed, something did. The dam finally broke in 1983, um, where under huge pressure from car manufacturers and automakers, the National Highway Traffic Administration relaxed the rules. For the first time in 40 years, car companies could use headlights of any size, any shape, as long as it met performance standards, they could be finally they could finally use replaceable bulb. Guys, this single change kicked off the whole design revolution. Almost overnight, composite headlights was born. Guys, that was a unit that was the bulb was separate from the housing, and designers was finally free to shape the bulb in whatever shape, whatever size, and they ditched the clunky steel beam design or shape altogether, and focused more on stylish and aerodynamic front end. Guys, this new freedom was made possible by just changing all materials altogether. Glass, we all know glasses is hard, and it's hard to shape into anything you like. It's hard to get any unique shape out of it. So they threw that to the curve, and in was polycarbonate plastic. Now, in plastic, it could be molded into anything you could imagine, letting headlights be wrapped around the bodies or wrapped around corners. And it honestly became a key part of a car's identity or brand identity, joining the grille and the logo. This was a huge win for design, it was a huge win for style, but it was the beginning of the end for cheap universal replacement, honestly. So halogen headlights was cheap. The bulb was cheap, but the housing around it, not not a chance, guys. Cause the housing was completely unique, and every car make and model had their own bespoke headlight. And so you already know car manufacturers, they're gonna price those things uniquely because you have to go through them to get it, right? So your headlight was no longer your neighbor's headlight, and it was just a first step into how things got as expensive as it did. So with designers free to shape the housing, the focus started looking at the cheap or affordable halogen inside of the housing, right? Halogen were fine, but in the 90s, they brought new high-tech technology at a high cost. It was the second part of evolution, guys, and it's high intensity discharge. You probably know it as xenon, but instead of heating a filament, the HID creates a super bright light by, I think, charging a gas. It's called a xenon gas, like a bubble of xenon gas. They did that with a high voltage arc, guys, and the result was a game changer for nighttime driving. HID produced a way brighter, wider, and wide beam that lit up the way ahead of you. You can see way, way more. Guys, if you ever use halogen and jump to HIDs, you know the difference. I mean, we probably by now all use something way more advanced, anyways. But this new tech came at a cost of complexity. See, to create a high voltage arc, you needed a dedicated electronic controller called a ballast. This little metal box, guys, take your car 12-volt charge and crank it up to the thousands of volt or 1,000 volt needed to fire up the lamp. And right there, at that moment, guys, the moment we realized we needed a ballast was the moment headlights stopped being just a bulb in an assembly or in a housing. It's now a system with its own electric brain. And suddenly, when you had a headlight failure, it wasn't so simple anymore. It could be the bulb, it could be the ballast, and other costly component. I mean, a premium headlight jumped from just under $100 for halogen to well over 100 or in the 100 for a HID system. And believe it or not, guys, this was just a preview of what's to come. I mean, if you live in today, if you have a car today, you probably know what I'm talking about. And hey, if you ever had to pay for one of these or had to witness it from a friend or anybody, neighbor, please leave your horror story in the comment section below because we want to hear about it. And if you're enjoying, while you're there, if you're enjoying more stories like this, please hit that subscribe button. We got a lot more stories like this to cover, guys, and they'll all be coming. If HIDs was a step forward, guys, the LED revolution was a giant leap that turned the modern headlight industry into a financial nightmare. Honestly, it's crazy. LEDs or light emitting diodes, guys, change everything. They're incredibly efficient. They do last long. So I'm not gonna necessarily take anything away from that part. I understand it, but the main thing the manufacturers wanted from them is the size. They're extremely small, and that tiny size is the key. See, designers can now use hundreds or they could use smaller light sources to create hundred of light points instead of just one or two big, headlights or you know what I mean. And this unlocked a total creative freedom you see today, allowing for intricate light designs and signatures, making headlights honestly as recognizable as a brand's logo itself. And especially at night, you even see them around headlights these days, right? But the real revolution, guys, and the source of the cost, it's not the actual LED itself, but it's what happened when engineers connected these LEDs to cameras and processors. This created the adaptive or the matrix LED that modern adaptive headlights use today, and it's all sealed in and packaged into one unit, right? So everything is like one dedicated computer of individual arrays of LEDs. When a camera sees an oncoming car, it doesn't just dim the headlight, it actually turns off individual LEDs that would have otherwise blind a driver. And it's an extremely safe feature. I love that feature, right? Who doesn't? Everybody's seen that one guy blinded them with the high beams. You like clicking at them with you trying to tell them, hey, I can't see. So look, it made a tunnel of darkness around the oncoming driver, and the rest of your headlight stays fully lit, so you don't lose any visual of the road. I love that feature. But where the cost explodes is when you're no longer buying just that light. You're buying a sealed, non-serviceable module that is, for all intents and purposes, a computer. So let's go ahead and break down why a little parking lot bump can end up in like a four-figure build. First up, you have the housing. We spoke about the housing before, guys. It's unique, it's model specific, and the manufacturer could set the price because it's not something that's mass produced or sold everywhere, right? Then you got the tech inside, the adaptive LED, and you have all those circuit boards and processors. They're not individually, you can't really buy those individually, so you end up having to buy the whole assembly for them to be replaced. Don't forget though the hidden electronics. A slight knock can damage things like lasers and radar, lidar, things that we use. We don't even understand how they work, but they're there to help guide the car. And they're usually right beside the headlights and the grille, for example, or the bumper. And finally, the real kicker, guys, the real honest, to me, the worst part of it is the labor and calibration. It's two of them. You can't just bolt on a new headlight assembly and be well on your way and drive off. The the new headlight model has to be electronically coded to the car, right? And then the car main computer have to be tweaked and calibrated by a highly trained professional to use specific equipment that could only be found usually at that dealership. So usually somebody else will send you to the dealership to get that coded, and honestly, the camera sensors and everything has to be calibrated down to a millimeter, like literally down to a millimeter, or your fancy new adaptive headlight system could be blinding oncoming drivers, and that process alone could cost you another $1,000 on top of the already $3,000 headlight assembly. And just like that, guys, this is how we went from a $15 seal beam unit to a $3,000 computer that just happened to cast light, honestly. The journey started from a regulatory change in 1980s, and it allowed manufacturers to choose design over cost, right? And that decision, it kind of paved the way for arms race between manufacturers to just have the best headlight, the best looking headlight. And right now we just see fully computerized laser guided headlights today. Each step did bring real improvement in safety and efficiency, but each step also added complexity and cost, turning a basic function into a part that is the most expensive part on a modern car. And the evolution is a perfect example of modern car trend, guys, where this relentless push for tech and performance is just jacking up the price, and it feels like cost and simplicity is an afterthought. While the safety benefits is clear, it leads me to wonder, have we turned a basic safety component into a luxury profit center? Let us know what you think in the comments below, guys, and thank you for watching.